And so obviously all these legal migrants have to live somewhere. Therefore, mandatory housing targets. That's right. We're going to house all of these legal migrants all over the green belt.
It's not just for legal migrants, it's for people who need it.
Yeah, no. The Labour has mentioned nothing that links these two together. They've said they want to build houses. Separate point, we want to cut down illegal immigration and potentially increase legal migration.
You can clearly tell these people are like seeing all these things and then go...
They're trying to, yeah.
It's all connected, therefore.
They're trying to discredit the government wanting to build homes by going, they're just going to give them to illegal migrants.
Yes,
yeah.
I can see exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah, wonderful. One of our nice green sunlit areas.
Look at that feckless pair right there.
I know.
Jesus Christ!
What's the thing in a courthouse?
Ad hominem.
If you want an objection, it's literally just character assassination.
Like defamation of character or something. Yeah, it's just why? Like, what? Good politics, mate. You don't like the look of them.
It happens a lot in politics. They're ugly, therefore. And this happens on both sides. I could think, can't remember in 2015, the whole thing in America was like, Trump has small hands, therefore he's bad. You could just talk about the issues with his campaign. You could do that. I don't think it really matters that much.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Fills me with confidence. But I don't know about you.
In a way, though, I am kind of pleased that we finally have a government that actually accurately represents Britain, right? Incompetent middle managers and council estate slags.
Whoa.
That is spicy rhetoric.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I believe what he's referring to there is the fact that Angela Rayner grew up on a council estate. I think that's horrible to try and attack her for that, when actually it's probably one of the best achievements in British politics that she came from a council estate and she made it all the way up here. That's pretty impressive.
It's like, I started from the bottom, now I'm here, and that's should be praised.
Revering, yeah.
So Keir Starmer should be praised because he went to University of Leeds, so therefore it's brilliant. Which I just found.
Get a little Leeds in there.
You got to bring that Leeds. Is it Stan? Is the word I was thinking?
Oh God, represent Leeds. Yeah.
No, I can't say represent Leeds. There we go.
Stan it. Yeah.
Also, I disavow clearly that calling Angela Rayner a council estate slag. I disavow that. Charlie does not. Anyway, to start.
Yeah. I strongly disavow that.
All right, fine, whatever. You can say that. Let's believe him.
Right. They are actually something that is genuinely, authentically British. So there is something to be happy about that.
Lol, you get what you voted for. Lol, vote harder next time. Lol.
Yeah. Anyway,
what was it? Only 20% of the electorate actually voted for them in the first place. Overwhelming majority. Democracy works.
That's two different points. 20% of people voted.
It was 30% as well. It was 34.5%, but
never going. Everyone didn't vote, therefore it's not even.
I don't even know what they're saying here. They're just kind of personally attacking them all over the place. Like, what is one thing they've said about housing? Like, actually, what is one thing they've said about housing?
They've stated that it's all going to be given to immigrants. Whether that's true or not is for debate. Very much so.
Very much not true. But
to make sure I'm not wrong, it could be. But I very much doubt it.
Labour said that its first dibs is for first-time home buyers. So it's aimed at young people and first-time home. No, not if they've owned a home in their previous country.
Yeah, I can see that definitely for sure.
Yeah.
And what they promised in the last couple of the screens you put up, where it's their immigration policy, they're going to do this and that. I just simply don't believe them.
Oh, they're not going to reduce numbers.
Just simply don't believe it.
They'll reduce the illegals. They won't reduce the legals. And it's literally a factor of 10 to 1. The problem. So anyway. But right, so they're going to build houses. They're going to make you build houses. Mandatory housing targets. So that means that if they're going to house a load of new foreigners in your area, you will right to block house building. Literally, no, we're just going to say you can't object to us building these houses there. You've got no choice because Starmer is going to govern the country like he governed his party.
Again, like there is this rhetoric as if they've said we're going to give all these houses to illegal immigrants, but I'm almost going to ignore that. Right, we've covered that. I think there is some concerns with local residents losing the right to block buildings, but I personally believe the housing crisis at the moment is so bad that we can't really have hold-ups. The best way to do it without governments spending hundreds of billions of pounds that they don't have is to relax planning laws. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you know me, I'm a very freedom-oriented person, and I do not like this of your house will be demolished to build a fucking another row of flats.
Oh, they don't have the right to knock down your house. It's so what this is referring to here is, say your house had a view of, I don't know, of over a like bit of nature, right? And they went, we're actually going to build a row of houses here. At the moment, you get like there's certain rights that you have to be able to block that development from happening.
I've got a family who are architects, and I actually did some work for them once, and they are like, so many people complain about sort of stupid things. I had to do a thing where I had to do data analysis for it, like of the complaints, and I also did all these things like board them out into key terms, and then as well as that, I also picked out some special ones. Some of them like, I don't want it because they might introduce ugly people into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
That is such a stupid little...
So there is a lot of lunacy. And in a time where we don't have enough housing, the idea that like free land can't be turned into housing, like this is by no means, no government supports the idea of we're going to come in, knock down your house whether you like it or not, and build flats. That's not what they're talking about here.
Good.
Talk about building on undeveloped land, and people going, no, but I like my view of this undeveloped land.
Yeah, I can see that. If you really look at that much by the land.
Yeah. And what I'll always say is, exactly, literally that when you buy a house, you're not buying the right to the view.
You're buying
you don't get that right.
20 acres.
Yeah, exactly.
So to be fair, it is. I understand it is a selling point of like you got a wonderful view and you're there for 10 years and it's like great now. I've got
Absolutely, you can't guarantee that. You just can never guarantee it. Any advice for any listeners buying a home? Don't buy a home purely based off a view, because you have no idea whether that view will be there or not.
Don't buy a home
because that's not your view. You don't own that view. Well, yeah, just don't buy a home.
Live with your parents till you're like at least 40. I think is probably the best economic thing I could say for now.
Solid plan.
I say what's not good for parents. Well, they're funding most of it.
Yeah.
And the government, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't click play. Could you click play for me, please?
See, like Stalin.
Yeah.
Genuinely like that. Moreover, they're going to force the landowners to sell the land if they don't agree to it voluntarily.
Okay, so
and they're going to make sure they don't get, quote, excessive payouts. So
landowners to get less compensation. Compulsory purchase plans. So there are already laws that say the government can buy the land back from you, and they're going to get a little bit less now. But that was already a thing.
I still not too happy on that sort of stuff.
No, I can understand them being not happy on that, especially as such a libertarian. But this isn't like a Labour thing. This isn't this government. Yeah, the government has the right to buy back land. You know, for HS2, right? They bought a lot of land off people for that.
Because legally, all land is, you are, even if you say I own this house, you're still renting it off the government. On paper, exactly. You're renting it off the kingdom, basically itself. And they have the right to take it whenever, but still.
It's interesting. It's why we need planning laws. So in America, you don't actually need planning, like permission to build stuff on your land because it's your land. We don't actually buy the land. We buy the property. Yeah. So therefore, to build on our land, we do need planning permission.
Some things can be like, okay, I think planning permission is needed if you're building another house, yes. But if you're building like a shed, come on.
Yeah.
I think it should lax up a bit.
But it comes from the idea that we don't own our land.
It definitely comes up. I think we should definitely sort of maybe expand a bit on. You can build things in your house a bit more. Come on.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, yeah, and I mean, bringing it back to the thing, I think just these things, they're not actually they're not even reading the headlines. I mean, read that headline there. Landowners to get less compensation under Labour's compulsory purchase plans. And what did they say? They said people are going to have to be forced to sell their homes. Read it. It's not saying Labour introducing compulsory purchase plans.
It's just the compulsory purchase plans under Labour government because they're already there and they're going to keep it there.
Yeah, and we're going to pay them less because we don't really have the money to pay them as much as we used to.
Yeah, and if they were to go, yes, the Conservative did it as well as was also not good, then they're not giving more leniency.
It's also important to note down that the Labour doesn't want to buy a house to knock it down to build another house. That's stupid. They want to buy up estate land and stuff like that. Build on it.
Yeah, brown land I think is called just like industrial stuff.
Grey belt is what they're calling it. Or no, I think brown land is also actually a thing, different thing, but I think it's a thing.
Oh well.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Yeah.
So they're probably going to screw them over a bit. And just to be clear, this is what the green areas there. That's where they're going to be building.
Outside London,
Right.
basically.
Okay. So the countryside.
Yeah, so that's what I was referring to with the grey belt there. So there's obviously guessing you've heard of the green belt. If anyone hasn't, it's an area around London which they've protected to stop London expanding to certain areas. And they was talking about building on what they're calling a grey belt of it. So this is areas that don't actually have any natural beauty. You know, when you think of a green belt, you're thinking of like luscious green rolling hills with trees and wildlife and stuff. And there's some areas that are like that, absolutely. Labour's talking about building on bits of that aren't like that. I'm sure everyone's got. Go, really?
Land is beautiful. You just haven't got the. You need to stop that and look at it. All right, you need to look and appreciate.
That's very nice for you. You're right. You are right. So, but there's an area near me where it's largely dead bushes. There's the only wildlife that lives in that is rats, and I'm sure you could appreciate that for its own beauty. But in a city like Brighton, where house prices are astronomical, blocks of flats would probably look and feel nicer.
As long as I think they've got to pass like an aesthetic committee first, because they've got to like look beautiful. I
can agree with that. I mean, I should send you actually some of the plans for Labour's what they're calling their new towns and what they want them to look like. They are actually working with architects and lots of them. I'll send you some photos later because they are genuinely stunning, some of the plans they're coming up with for what they want to build.
Well, I'd like to, you know me, I love my aesthetics, I love my beauty. That's my main things to focus on in life, not money.
They want to use the European style housing. It's called a soft density. So like 3-4 stories tall, but it looks like houses, not flats. You know, with shops and places to sit and trees and everything like that. So,
as long as it's not America's idea of like walkable cities, as long as it's not that, a massive 60 floors, everything's 15-minute walk away.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Please,
yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So no, they definitely don't want to do that.
Nice.
In the suburbs around the biggest urban areas.
So just
the rural areas around the biggest urban areas.
Yeah. More urban sprawl. It's just going to be concreted over
and
house foreigners.
You can see that green belt is probably one of the only things that stops Manchester and Preston and other large cities from all being joined into some gigantic megatropolis dystopian nightmare in the northwest.
They will have.
Sorry, just like I don't understand. So the idea that oh my god they've like swallowed each other makes it dystopian.
To be fair,
like,
I can understand that. I can understand that. I think small.
Can you?
Yeah, each city should have their own distinct cultural identity.
You're right. Take Brighton, right? You're from Brighton as well.
Yes.
Or, well, you spent a long time here at least. Brighton was its own thing. Then it swallowed Hove, became Brighton and Hove. Then it merged with an area called Portslade. Then it merged with an area called Southwick. And it is joined to an area called Shoreham. Those are all joined. Those are all once individual places. Yeah. And you know what? Brighton's a much nicer place now that it's joined up.
Yeah, because Hove is nice.
There are things I want to do in Shoreham's. Well, there are things I want to do in Shoreham. There are things I want to do in Brighton. I like that I can get to them.
Yeah,
you know,
I could definitely see that. But we're talking.
And if we were sitting in this world where there were, but what other options are there? Where would they be okay with us building houses? I would like to ask these guys, like, where would they be all right with us building houses?
I don't think they would be.
Yeah, and it's crazy when home ownership is going down. We're not able to afford homes anymore. This isn't a thing that mine and your generation, our generation, said we'll have of home ownership if we don't change that, and that's shocking.
Well, I've been thinking. I understand why I need to have a partner in my life. Why? Because I can afford to live somewhere. So I can afford to rent somewhere. I need to have a partner.
Exactly.
Maybe like 3 partners, maybe if anything, to try and get
home. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I think we get 3 wives, and maybe if we all together we can afford a down payment.
Yeah, well, that is. I mean, that's optimistic. One has to come from a lot of money, obviously, to be able to do that. But no, it is crazy. And then there's. I can see negatives to houses being built, but there's a negative to every single house that is built.
Yes, there's always negatives. But I do think, England does have a distinct cultural identity that I do enjoy the aesthetic of it and I enjoy the beauty of it. And I think if we were to stick to more, like we're going to expand to this thing. It's going to be more suburban areas. If we were to do sort of maybe more, make it look more like buildings would be, then yes, I'd be fine with it.
No, and as I said, we want to do like soft, or they want to do soft density. I mean, actually, because they're really nice. Let me just see if I can find photos. So
if you can find a website with it, just send me the website, and we'll also be able to put it on the screen as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you now. That should work. There we go. Sent it. Oh, is that not sending? There we go. Sent it to you on Discord.
I don't understand how Discord works. There we are. Okay.
No, I replied to your message for some reason. Don't know why.
I zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very low quality for some reason.
Yeah, apologies. That's probably on me, but you know that type of housing with culture and ideas, you know.
Yeah, I can see these images here. It is beautiful. So obviously, this is more of like a sort of, I'd say like more Netherlands sort of vibe to it.
Yeah. Well, that's what
English buildings.
Exactly. They want to take that on, but then give it English, you know, that kind of Edwardian Victorian style twist to it. I think
that would be a good idea. Obviously, with some changes, with modern amenities, and maybe not make it all exactly Edwardian, otherwise we're going to stagnate.
No. Of course. But yeah, and lining it with like coffee, with shops and stuff like that, and little coffee spots and places to sit and listen to music.
I fucking hate cobbled roads.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a fan of them. Not a fan of paved roads. I'm much nicer.
The whole area is covered with cityscape.
Yeah, and Labour is going to make it mandatory. They're going to force you to sell your land, and they're going to stop locals from being able to block it. Lovely.